camp. Yesterday I went to the Cliff Dwellings. I returned. I'm not going to tell you all about it here in the introduction, so I don't spoil it for you. Enjoy. Okay, I'm going up to the Cliff Dwellings. Now, I'm just going to make a short one of this part of it, because I know you want to hear an old guy heavy breathing as he trudges up. But here we go. I got my extendable ladder strapped to my back. It's a telescoping ladder. It's heavier than I wanted it to be, but I'm managing. It's gonna be a solid one. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but there they are. I'll try to zoom in on them. Right there. Okay. Enough for now. I'll catch you guys at the top. Okay, I'm still going up. I decided to take my pack off. See, there's my collapsible ladder on the other side of the pack. And I'm back up to that big rock that I had to go around going down last time. But look across there. Oh, wow, look at those snow-capped mountains over there. And in the valley, it looks like there's some kind of fire going on. Fortunately, not in the hills. Woo! I'm sure that mountainous area over there is part of the Gila National Forest. All right. Just taking a short break, and I'll get on the way back up. Let me show you how far I gotta go. Okay, I gotta go up that rocky, craggy thing. And that's gonna be hand and knees, most likely. And I'm gonna go around there. See that big pillar on the left? I'm gonna go around that and then up to those two pine trees that look like they're growing out of the same pine tree, and off to the right, and then I'm back in that cubby hole area. Now this is an American Heritage Site, so I'm gonna be very careful not to destroy or harm or do anything that's destructive whatsoever, so that other people can come up here in the future and enjoy this. All right, I made it. It took me exactly 1 hour to get back up to this little cubby hole. I read some notes, recent notes that were left in the can there. One person said that as a climber, they would not trust that rope ladder with their life. However, they used it anyways. Here it is. So apparently, a climber used that rope ladder, but I'm not. I got my extendable ladder here. I made it. I'm going to restock my water bottle and get that thing extended and get up over the ledge. Okay, I'm up here. Let's go in. Wow. So I'm thinking, if you're one of the tribes, look out, and the Warren tribe's coming after you, you get sheltered in here. They're not gonna make it. You're safe. They can't get up here, not with your arrows. Look at that fire pit. Here's inside of the wall. Wow. So, oh, nice. And so the smoke goes out the top, and they got windows to keep a lookout and shoot arrows at the bad guys if they are dumb enough to follow them up here. Okay, from here, okay, let's see if I can zoom in on my truck. You see there's a road down there, and zoom in on it. There's a sharp turn And right in the sharp turn is my truck and somebody else's car. It's all locked up, so should be okay. All right. Oh, here we go. And pretty cool. Looking out the window. You got to have these windows. When the smoke starts going up, the air is drawn in through these windows to keep the air fresh inside here. And so the smoke goes out the top. Wow, 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 wow. So this is not a huge family dwelling area. Nope. This is my interpretation anyways. Being a historian and former military, I analyze things. The tactical situation. This is the shelter. You got warring tribes. And if one's coming after you, the lookouts. Now, what are those? There's a knoll right there, and I'll show you when I get back down. That when you get on top of that little knoll right behind my truck, you can see 360 for hundreds of miles. And there's also a petroglyph that describes what, it points to the lookout, and then it describes what they're looking for. So if the tribe is about 6 miles down trail, and it's a historical area as well, where they had kivas, they were doing farming and other smoke houses and stuff. That's where the tribe was dwelling. So they send their lookout here to spot potential game to hunt and potential threats as well. And so if they communicated by runner, so if you had 3 or 4 scouts up here, they sent a runner almost daily back down the 6 miles back down to the camp. But if for some reason they ran into a warring tribe, they would scoot up here and get protection right away. This is the tactical part of me, and this is my assessment. So families don't dwell up here. It's too hard to get here. I mean, did some rock climbing, I'll show you. You lean out, see my ladder? My ladder only went halfway up, so I was not going back down again. So the cliff leans in a little bit, and I used those rocks and the rope, and I got over the ledge, and here I am. So here I am, looking out what they would look out. Okay, more to come. Okay, this is the little knoll that I was telling you about behind my truck. Their lookout area. Let's go up and see for a second. I'm on top of the lookout hill, and there's the ridge I went up to get to the top of the get to the cliff dwellings. And so I'm going to do a panoramic. So if you're here and you're a scout or a lookout for your tribe, look at all you can see. Miles. If there's somebody in your territory that has a fire, you're going to see this line of smoke going up. And so let's turn this thing around. This is where I'm at now. I'm up here. So let's go look at the rest of the area. Okay, here we are at the petroglyphs, close to the lookout position. If you notice, here's a circle here. That circle, I'm pretty sure, means you are right here. And then there's a line pointing to the lookout position and a little circle right there, a little, because it illustrates the lookout position. So they would be up here keeping an eye out for game. Here's a picture of something, I'm not sure what it is, possibly elk. There's a lot of elk around here. And then there's a representative of a person here and a person here. Let's say maybe that represents the persons that are looking out. They're looking out for warring tribes. So it's a perfectly good lookout position up there. If a new lookout came up here or scout and he wasn't sure about where to go, just looks here Okay, that's where to go. That's obvious. I see now. So they're for sure that they're in the right place for their tribe's lookout position. So if you look over here, it looks like a representative of a fish. So back at Pueblo Park Campground, there's a lot of kivas and some other dwellings that are still, you know, the rocks and the holes are still there represented. They planted food there, and they also, I'm sure that back in the day the river was plentiful, and they had a lot of fish. Probably the reason they left is because the river dried up. So let's say you're up here, you're a lookout, you're 6 miles away from the camp. All of a sudden a warring tribe comes upon you. What do? You're not going to run 6 miles, but you got this cliff dwelling up there. So you clamber up to that cliff dwelling and you get in there. And so it's very defensible with rocks and arrows and spears, and you probably have a couple days of food supply up there so you can stay alive and keep yourself from being killed by the warring tribe or captured. And then they had, most likely, it's my assumption, they most likely had a rule that if we don't see a scout or a runner in X amount of days, we're going to send a warring party up here. So they send a warring party up here, verify that they're not in the lookout position. Either they were kidnapped or they made it up to the cliff dwellings. They go up there and get them out. They got a lot of stories to tell. What tribe was it? You know, how many, yada, yada, yada. So they get back. And then they restock the cliff dwellings for the next guys. And how do I know all this? I don't. I'm assessing the situation here from a military defense position. As a historian, I can tell you there's nothing up here. You can't grow up here. How much game is going to come up here? So what's the purpose of being up here if it's not to be a lookout? Because that thing can, that from their position you can see for miles and miles. So if somebody has a fire, you can see a line of smoke going up. If somebody's moving across the open ridges, you can see them. Game, one of the main things, so that they can send a runner back and say, hey, we got some game on this ridge, whatever, send a hunting party out and get some more meat for their smokehouse. Going back to the cliff dwellings, they're too small for a family to dwell in, and my contention is it's going to be difficult to get children and women up there. I know they probably had ladders, but I just don't think it was for that purpose. I think it was a fallback position to keep their scouts and runners alive until the warring party can get up here and rescue them. So this is my assessment. There's some other symbols up here. I gotta tell you, I do not know what these mean. I don't know, but here they are. But pretty interesting stuff. I'm here in Apache National Forest, and there's a lot of history here, a lot of history. So this concludes my cliff dwelling tour. And also I want to plug my book. If you haven't bought my book, Lured Down the Garden Path. Lured Down the Garden Path is on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble, and you can even order it through Walmart. If you want to preview it, go to Amazon.com, search for Lured Down the Garden Path by Sherwood Steele, and you can preview the book. I did a video previous to this where you can I talk about the book in depth, so you can see that video and get more information about it. So that concludes my video for today. Thank you for sharing and thank you for watching, and have a great day in future. Sherwood Steele out. Let's stop being scared, folks. Let's get the information. Buy my book, Lured Down the Garden Path. It's on Amazon. Thank you for listening. Sherwood Steele out, and pray for our United States of America. Thank you.